right, welcome on back. So, had my first meeting, logged in, took care of all of the IT tickets, and decided, and I don't do this often because I am very cautious about not abusing my working from home, but I am going to take another little trip down to exploring this Minecraft world. So, and continue talking about all the exciting developments that are happening because it's happening. We are having the great reset. We are changing how things are done, how money's made, how food's produced, how everything. Oh, look at that. That little fella or little gal. But anyways, and it's hilarious because it all revolves around the war on drugs, specifically the war on marijuana. Like it is so funny and ironic, and I know a lot of people that saw this coming a mile away. So to explain a little bit, food production, just one area of the war on drugs that has been severely hindering society and humanity as a whole. So because people were forced to grow weed in secret, they learned how to grow hydroponics systems. Hydroponics uses water, a lot of water, as like the main like bed that the plant grows in. Now you can't just have a plant submerged in water, that would drown it, that wouldn't work at all. So in order to do that, you have to use things like hydroton, which are these pellets or these little beads or spheres. Not little, they're like the size of marbles. But basically they're absorbent material. They're made of an absorbent material that absorbs the water with the nutrients dissolved in it for the plants, and the plants can still use this to grow big and strong. In fact, much bigger and much stronger than the average regular grown plant. Um, and produces more fruit and more like chemicals, and specifically for cannabis, it can make it a lot more potent because it has a lot more nutrients to grow bigger buds. And that's the ironic thing is by criminalizing and making weed like the devil so evil and so this and that, it forced people to learn how to grow in secret. And not just in secret, in order to make it cost effective, you had to grow a lot and in short amount of, or well, so the weed grow cycler for cannabis is only about 3 months, or sorry, 6 months. It's 3 months in veg, 3 months in flower. And so half a year you've got a crop that can yield so many ounces or pounds or whatever. It used to be about 350 or $300 for an ounce. Ridiculous prices. Now, since everybody and their neighbor can grow it for themselves, like you can have up to, I believe, 6 plants. Maybe six in vegetation, six in flower. That might be the distinction too, because I think when they were making the laws, they did accommodate for that. It was like, well, because the cycle is staggered like that, you can only have this many plants that are capable of producing the product of cannabis in this timeline. So I just kind of make it vague so any plants that fall in and outside of those boundaries can be dealt with accordingly. Also, look, even the animals are different in the city texture pack. This sea turtle is ready to do some scuba diving. Oh, it's got a wetsuit, it's got a tank, and it's a very fun texture pack. So, but anyways, so now with companies like Garden with a Y instead of an E at the end, we're now finding out that people can grow their own food at home. Now, granted, you're going to have some problems with mold, issues with mites that can grow on there. Um, and it's pretty funny because if you watch the movie How High, you've got Method Man in there explaining a lot of this stuff on how to grow good weed, like how to watch out for this, the mites, this and that. And it's hilarious. And that movie was made way back in the day. Oh my gosh, what is this? Sorry. So I've already done. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just got a notification. I was like, what now? So not only did I do all of the IT tickets that were waiting in the queue, they are now processed and waiting for the next step, and I'm keeping an eye on that. And so then I was also able to deploy a replacement computer from afar. Yeah, it's already been a very productive day. That's why I'm allowing myself this quick little break before my next meeting and to do some exploration. So And it's almost like the Harry Potter world as far as cannabis users and witches and wizards go. Like that's what it feels like, you know, like the muggles are the non-cannabis users going about their daily lives while these wizards and witches are out here, you know, doing these amazing things. Like most of the scientists in the world have at least tried weed once or twice. Like it's just part of an inquisitive mind. It's like, wait a minute, this alters your state of consciousness and it makes it like, whoa, interesting. Like, you know, whereas people that are very reliant on the old ways of like, oh, it's dangerous. We need to never use it and be careful of this evil plant, you know. And it's just silly, and that's why I commented on the DEA's post the other day, because I was like, okay, now do one with all the deaths from weed, and I'd be especially interested to see you post it side by side with all the deaths from alcohol, and let's just see where that stacks up. And there's been a lot of people coming out in opposition of weed. Even Elton John. I used to like Elton John, but now I think he's a prick. Like, because the dude's been doing tons of cocaine and like hard drugs in his lifetime, and he's coming out and saying, marijuana legalization is a horrible idea." It's like, who are you to weigh in on this? The laws don't apply to you. You have more money than anyone would ever need. You can go off into your castle and do whatever you want in the privacy of your own castle. And you're going to punish people for weed? No, get up. I lost all respect for Elton John. He's a prick. So, and that's about it because like anybody who speaks out against weed at this point is just childish, immature, not following science whatsoever, and keeping us back, holding us backward in society. And that is one thing that I am excited about the new administration. Like, I didn't vote for President Trump, but I do support a lot of what he supports and a lot of what RFK Jr. supports. And I'm tired of the endless wars, and I'm tired of defense contractors having to say, and I'm tired of all the things that Bernie and Robert Reich have been complaining about this whole time. And the Trump team's tired of it too. Like, granted, they're going to get theirs, they're going to keep their wealth, and they're going to change a lot of rules to keep the wealthy even wealthier. But at the same time, if they break a lot of the other rules that were keeping us in poverty, like, then I don't know, why not everybody be rich? Like, why can't we do that now? And that's because we've got things like, well, defense contractors, lobbyists, and all this trying to make sure that, you know, the workers, the drones stay where they are and they stay working. I don't know. We're going to see some exciting things soon. And also, this whole thing has been kind of a bust. Like, oh, well, maybe. Or is that, now that might be the same coastline. So most of this map is water. It's an ocean or it's sea. And like, I haven't found that haunted forest or whatever. And there's an event too. I got to put a reminder in my calendar. So I have a work thing tonight, and that's also why I'm kind of taking a little time here because I'm not gonna have this time this evening to do videos. But I'm gonna try to do that event and see what that's all about. Oh, maybe we do have some little islands, sandbars, and stuff dotting out here. So, but anyways, once weed is legalized worldwide, all of our problems are going to go away. War, famine, poverty, is all, and it's because of the nature of what cannabis does to your mind. It makes it to where you're relaxed, you're happy, and you want everybody to be relaxed and happy. Whereas alcohol, it's a very self-centered substance where you will feel happy and silly and you'll have a good old time, but then you'll feel really bad and sad and depressed and all this bad stuff. Hungover even, or maybe you'll do some questionable things like, yeah, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Sorry, also checking my messages, making sure I'm not missing anything. And this is another quick 20-minute, not even because I have another meeting coming up. I just wanted to, just feel like I didn't really finish that last one. Like, there are a lot of big things going on. I'm also making more Scratch programs. I'm about to launch A-Rye for kids. I'm like, well, about to start, I guess. Maybe not launch it, but, and already I've got a bunch of videos lined up for that, or video ideas. I want to do a tying your shoes. I want to do, you know, just different social engineering things. But those I got to be way more careful with, and I got to maybe upload them and then customize them. And I'm going to use Scratch programs to teach life lessons, basically. Like a lot of the things that I teach my own kids, I'm going to put into Scratch programs. And then, because Scratch really is for kids age 8 to 16, I think it said. Like, that kind of age range is the most. And there's even a Scratch Junior for kids younger than that. But honestly, the way Scratch is, like, I feel like anyone grade school age can play with it because it is just a click and drag. Like, you've got these blocks and they have very easy tutorials that help guide you. I'm going to go vertical this way. We're going to try this whole coastline. I feel like this map is turning into all this coastline on the east and then a bunch of ocean and water in the middle. So, but anyways, gonna have the two channels. It's gonna be complicated. Of course, the games will stay to normal A-Rye, more adult or at least teenager. I mean, I feel like teenagers would be able to watch these videos and not have really anybody could watch these videos. They just might have some questions for their parents. Be like, why is weed illegal? And then their parents would be like, why are you talking about weed? Like, and they'd be concerned about that. But like, I was just talking to somebody. I wanted to kind of see, or wait, actually, let me back up a little bit. There was this study that came out, I think it was from Denmark, that had like 5,000 men participate. And it was a long-term study to see if cannabis affected memory, if for long-term use. And it found a resounding no. It does not affect your long-term memory issues. Like, it has zero effect on impairment. And I could have told you that. I've been smoking since I was like, I want to say, yeah, about around 12, 13, when I became a teenager. I first started smoking. I don't remember my exact first time. I really don't. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because I remember before smoking actual weed, because I knew about it. Like, we learned about it in DARE, and I think that's 5th grade, so around 10 or 11 or 12, depending. No, I think it's 11, 12. And then middle school, yeah, it was middle school. I waited until middle school, and I remember thinking, because I knew one kid that smoked in 5th grade, and I was like, wow, that's too young. And then in middle school, like, I had a briefcase. It was funny. I walked around with a briefcase instead of a backpack because I wanted to just do something wacky and funny. And my buddy was supposed to do it with me, but he bailed. And that's okay. He didn't. He was already like getting. I mean, I don't know. I was fortunate because since I was doing football, I was automatically slightly popular. But even so, the only time that I really got bullied was from a fellow football player, and it was just a very brief instant. And I think he felt, I don't know, but like he was talking about a sticker. He's like, "Look, it's Alex." I was like, "Oh," some fat like garbage pail kid. Like, I was like, "Oh, you having fun at my expense, huh?" And so, but anyways. And it didn't end up mattering. And like, and I always like, I was the worst bully on myself. And that's one of the things that I would pass on to YouTube kids is like, we judge ourselves way more than anyone else is. In fact, the most of the time, other people are not judging you at all. They could care less. And like, as long as that's understood and respect, showing respect and kindness, making sure you have food in your belly, making sure you slept good the night before, and all of the things that would make you just act like a better person throughout your day. So I don't know. And I drill that into my kids' minds. Like, if you feel like you're acting up or you're not yourself, like those Snickers commercials, although don't have a Snickers because that's candy and all that, but have a snack and then see how you feel. Go back, apologize or do whatever you need to. And just explain, yeah, sorry, I was hungry or I was tired, but I'm feeling better now. Let's go ahead and do this. Do this thing, whatever you were supposed to try to do, so. Coach A-Rye, and I've already got some characters built up in Scratch. I've got Debbie Detail. I even have a person to voice Debbie Detail, one of my friends that I helped out. She said she'd be willing to do stuff, and we'll see. I mean, but basically I needed a female voice. I can do the voices of a couple of the guy characters, and then, and just to make something beneficial. No money in it, free, doesn't cost anything. Just entertaining and educational. Also to empower more women in STEM. And I'm actually working on some pretty interesting side projects with that and potentially trying to reach out to the ACM in the near future and use my new connections as of the last few years to really expand just access to computer science. like help empower and enable more women to get into STEM. Because I mean, I have a daughter and a son, and I want my daughter to have all of the advantages and the perks and the benefits that my son has just for being a guy. Like, and I think that's a lot of the issues with gender and identity because you don't have a lot of the same things. Like, there's a lot of grass is greener on the other side. And I don't even want to pretend to really understand all of that. Like, there's entire classes dedicated to understanding that whole situation, I guess. Ooh, there's a shipwreck. And actually, I got to get going, but let's go ahead and explore this real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a treasure map. Wait, how are we doing on time? I feel like my next meeting is about to start any minute. All right, we're gonna run in here and see what is in. Oh yes. Oh shoot. Oh, it's all bad. Hold on, I'm gonna. Ah, I need to get rid of some things. What don't I need? Actually, I guess I don't. Oh, okay. That's good. And we'll stop there and I'll continue to finish exploring, hopefully this evening. But yeah, so that's what's on the horizon for now. Another YouTube channel and all that stuff. But anyways, ta-ta for now. Oh yeah, this is a really short episode, 17 minutes. All right, I will see you in the next one. Ta-ta.